go there, you can have actually the recordings of all the webcasts that were made there, and you can have all the slide presentations that people uploaded. For this presentation, they're all uploaded. So you can upload, you can get my slides, and you can click on the link that takes you to the article that I wrote about the history of CalIS, which I've updated several times. And that basically tells you, that's the article, this latest rendition, and it will explain to you a lot of what about the CalIS and how it began. But what I'm going to talk about today is how the electronic village began. Although the presentations are kind of about what the professional development about around the electronic village and CalIS. So my first, this is a program from 1982, a conference in Hawaii. I was a grad student at that time, and I met some key people there. The conference was in Hawaii at that time. So I met Roger Kinner and David Sanders, there were a few people, Carol Chappelle was there, I think, and Joan Jameson. So a lot of people that were sort of swimming around the idea of maybe doing Cal intersection. We had this in mind. We didn't say the word intersection back then, but I think in the next year, they scheduled a symposium because they could see a lot of interest. A lot of presenters were going to the conferences talking about computers, and these people sort of, obviously, you know, it's like a hippie, when you see one, that's oh, there's a Cal person over here. The antenna go up strategically. And so we sort of made those connections at that conference. And then in the next year in Toronto, they had a symposium, a very important event. And Joan Rubin she's the one who did the characteristics of a good language learner, I think. She nominated me to go to that symposium. It was a closed event. It was so closed that when Earl Stevens tried to get in, they wouldn't let him in. So anyway, and then they went chasing him, trying to get him back, but he'd already gone. So there we go. So in the next year in Toronto, the cover, I'm not sure if the cover was white like that or if it was stated, but it was inside view. So I scanned from page 10, actually turn to page 10, or if you wanted the reference, then you went to your library and got to find on page 10. In the schedule, there's a symposium, which David and Roger organized. Now, David kind of dropped out of the scene after that, but he was kind of slated to be the first chair by default. So there was an election for the first associate chair. Now, because all the bigwigs were nominated, said, no, I'm not going to do that. So one by one, the top ones fell off until it finally had to be running out and get somebody else. I'm a grad student in Hawaii. Anyhow, they somehow elected me to be the associate chair. They're scraping the bottom there, but anyway. So that's what happened in Toronto. And the next year, let's go next year. Houston next year. Next year, Houston, 1984. Here we go. 2 clicks. You're presenting 2 clicks. This is the next one. So in Houston, we had the first Cal software fair. I had proposed a software for getting to the EP, Electronic Village. Where did that come from? Because the first one was in Houston, and this is its listing in the program. And notice that under my name it says I'm the associate chair of the proposed intersection. So we had to come up with the intersection. That's what the article that I referred to in the first slide is all about. If you want to read about that, that's another 2 minutes presentation. So anyway, but this is the first software for now. It says somewhere here, let's see, maybe it's on the next slide. It says that the schedule of presentation is available in the room. So unfortunately, I know Frank Otto was there. I can't remember who who else exactly, but anyhow, the half a dozen or 10 people who had presentations, they all went around the room on a different computer. We had a computer for each of them. And they all talked for a couple of minutes about what they were going to present, and then we just turned it over to the people to walk around and see, kind of like the Electronic Village now. So that was the first time that we actually had that kind of an event. Now, significantly in this event, the presenters, after the event was over, the presenters talking to themselves, well, that's kind of neat. Because we swapped, and so the presenters did that. And that was in 1984. Then in 1985, in New York, 1985, we had again several. Did I go one, two, didn't do it again? No. Okay, there we go. This is the listing for the. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I'm now the chair. Now we're an intersection in our own right now, because in 1984, this again is in the articles and the other presentation. We became officially an intersection. I was officially appointed. The first chair is appointed by someone, so we just made sure that they had our names spelled correctly. Then, so I was not the first elected chair, but appointed. And I think Roger was appointed as the associate chair, so he became the second chair. Who was elected? The next one was Mason. Yeah. Anyway, so she would have been elected. According to the bylaws, we grew up in the atrium of the Hyatt Regency in Houston. So anyhow, this one, let's see, it's a call software fair, innovative direction in non-commercial software. And the abstract, I have the abstract somewhere here. Okay, yes. Well, anyway, it said something, maybe for the first one, it said that we knew there was a lot of software, but there wasn't a lot of commercially available software. A lot of software developed. So we're interested in meeting the developers. Now, I actually had somewhere here. There we go. This is how we communicated back in those days. That was pretty high tech stuff back then. So I actually have a copy of the first program of presenters, and there it is. Got to put that on the screen. So if you want to get the slideshow and get a bit of history, there you are. So the first fair that was actually preserved. The next conference was in Anaheim. Is Jeff Legato online? Oh, okay, Jeff. Maybe Jeff can help resolve this. I'm trying to think, because I remember, back then we didn't have internet. And we didn't have ways of just, smartphoning each other. So I remember that Jeff caught me in the bathroom, because that's how we communicated back then, So, and he asked me, he said he'd been asked to do the next software fair, and would I like to assist with it? But I didn't go to Anaheim. Did he do the one in Anaheim? Maybe he'll answer that question. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember exactly, because I wasn't in Anaheim, so that was a bit of a gap there. But anyway, that's how this. And then this one, by the way, the significant thing about this event is that at the event, just everybody started swapping. Getting on the computers. When the event was over, everyone just went crazy, like dog's dinner. So that's how we could see that this was a really popular thing to do. People were going to be sharing software, because we're coming out of the era of Web 1, where people aren't really sharing this proprietary. People are concerned about their copyrights and things like that. So we're moving into an era of sharing, because we're realizing about this time also that we're not going to get any money out of this. It's not paying for the beer costs to prepare the software. So anyway, just quoting from Roger, he said that there was a hospitality room at the conference in Anaheim. And I went to the one in Miami the year after. Macy Taylor had somehow got a suite of rooms, which she called the hospitality room. So it was you go up the elevator of the hotel, and it was up there. And she had her Amigas set up, and was starting an interest group in Amiga. And basically, we all went up there and hung out now and then, so, and it was a good place to go. So that, I think somewhere in there was the concept of the hospitality room. And then in Chicago, 1988, and I couldn't find my books for Chicago, but Peter Lee arranged, somebody quoted him, maybe it was me. It's Roger. He, in his literature, he said that Peter Lee had arranged the computers into Chicago. Is my 10 minutes up? 2 more minutes. Wow, I can really go on with that. I could just go on forever, yeah. What did Jeff say, by the way? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I don't know. It's hard, unfortunately, these bathroom episodes we don't have no records, They get back to the email history. But, anyway. Okay. So that's taking us into the era of hospitality room as what it's evolved in today. And I'll leave that to the other presenters for the rest of the issue. Thank you. Any questions?